All right, fuck it. All right, so I'm gonna sit like this. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna cut the bullshit. Early Bronx days are what I want to know about. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's important for everybody as far as I'm concerned, like to know that. Like, and you know what I mean? Like your first joint was in, like you said, you were, I think, you started around like 79. So early
Yeah,
Bronx,
started in 1970.
tell us about that.
Oh, you want that's so you want me to tell you about that at that time? I mean, that's the year I started rapping, rhyming, But at that time, I guess that's the first year that they started putting out records like Sugar Hill Gang, Rappers Delight. So, but before that, and at that time, it was Park Jams. So really, them Park Jams was what really inspired me. And I saw cats just on the mic at them jams before I would start. But I guess the records like Rappers Delight kind of made me want to start rhyming because we started learning these songs and just listening to the lyrics and just learning them. And after a while, you just kind of want to have your own, so you started doing it. And that's what it was like for me. And yeah, 18 Park, Clark Park, Francigo Park, Crotona Park, a lot of these projects, My Haven, The Dome, Melrose, Patterson, from Patterson, so they had different parks in Patterson that they jammed at. Mitchell's, Jim, like all over, just the whole area. If anybody from that time period, a lot of areas did have their own jams around their own projects. There's certain parts in the projects and when the people just bought out equipment. So for me, that's what inspired me. Just seeing things around me as a youngster. You know what I'm saying? And then when the records came out, it was more like you just learn these songs like Rapper's Delight and Curtis Blow and Grandmaster Flash, Beer's 5 songs. And so that's what inspired me, you know what I'm saying, to want to rhyme. Plus my oldest brother, you know what I'm saying, older brother, but he was down with a crew called the Fabulous Four. My uncle, my mom's youngest brother, youngest sibling, he had a crew called the Undefeated Force. And he was down with Tilo Rock, the Amazing Bombay, and Theo Zong. And so when I went to my grandmother's house, I used to see that kind of stuff just taking place over there. I was a youngster, but you could hear them in the room playing beats, just rhyming and stuff. So when I would come back to the project, I saw that out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was like for me. It was just a normal thing that was going on around me. So that kind of inspired me to just do what I do.
Were you into any of the other elements? Because at that time, you know what I mean? Everything was popping off. A lot of people did multiple things in terms of just the elements were really front and center in hip hop at that time. Were you involved in anything else other
Nah,
than music?
I never really went hard with it, but I could draw. But I wasn't like a graph cat that would be going out bombing trains and nothing like that. So I never did that, but I did like to draw. So definitely I was gravitated towards the graffiti because that was art to me. So I saw that they had a spot called Fashion Motor that wasn't too far away from me. Like while I was in the block, the Henry Chiffant put up a documentary on YouTube. It's called All City. And Fashion Motor was a spot like a gallery, art gallery, and that was right down the block, like 2 blocks away, like 2 blocks away, literally, to walk over there. So I saw them sometimes. You walk by, you see people in there, crowds, and see the art hanging up on the wall, like graffiti pieces. And then if you go back and go and type up All City on YouTube, you can see footage from that time period. Like he was smart enough to take that footage, capture a lot of that at the time. So, I saw stuff like that in the trains. But b-boying was something that everybody danced back then, just into it from the song. So the electric boogie and all that stuff, I was trying to do a little of that. A little of that. I wouldn't do it at a jam, but probably in the house, I'll try to do a little moves, whatever, a party somewhere.
Right, right.
But
And what,
the breaking, I wasn't break dancing, nothing like that. But popping, I probably was more into like electric boogie, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that's what I would call it back then.
word.
DJing, I learned a little something, but I never tried to do it. I just knew how to do it from going to cats' houses. They had turntables, let you play with it. You do a little something. Production came a little later. I never really learned how to work the equipment, but I could tell you from sampling because I knew them records. Back then, you had to know your songs, records, and stuff. So I knew the names. I'd be like, "Yo, I want this record, sample this part, stuff like that." That came later. You know what I'm saying?
We got the legendary Percee P, episode 31 of the Carrying the Culture show. Real quick, KJ, I need you to hit up Saving the Hip Hop Culture and tell him I'm going to be like 15 minutes late.
You breaking up again
Of
now.
course.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was telling my assistant she's got to do something for me. That I'm gonna be late to my next show because we started ours a little bit later. You can't hear me now. I'm broken up again.
Nah, maybe can you move back a little bit? I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's
No, I was forward.
and talk.
I was forward.
There you go.
Like right here.
Yeah, I can hear you now, right there. Wherever you at, I can hear that. I can hear.
Right here.
Go ahead. Ask a question just to see if it.
All right. Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yeah.
Patterson Projects.
Yep. Patterson Project.
So AG is from there, right?
Yeah. AG's from Patterson Projects. Iran the Blade Barkley, the boxer. He's from Patterson Project. Guy Fisher, who was down with Nicky Barnes, he's from Patterson Projects. Tiny Archibald, the basketball player from Patterson Projects. My man Arnold Bernard, the A Train, another ball player from Patterson Projects. And far like famous people, that's but it's still a lot of inspiring artists coming up there, But yeah, those are like people that's more notable names from the project. Patterson. I heard Van Silk. I heard somebody was telling those stories like when you Google Patterson houses in Wikipedia, they have a Wikipedia page and you see Van Silk name also. He's a promoter and stuff, I heard he was from Patterson too.
All right. Everybody, if you have questions, please use the questions feature below. And that way we can all see them. And Percee P can see them and we can put them there. If you have questions, you can use the questions feature. And if we get to them.
Yeah.
Did you rhyme with AG at all?
To around with AG?
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Outside, I used to rhyme with him. Like my man Danique, the Hypnotic Performer, my first record. My man Danique, who's on my first song, "Let the Homicides Begin." That was in '88. But my partner, he's from Patterson Projects. At that time, when we used to rhyme outside before we made records, like AG used to be down with a guy named Rodney. AG name is Andre, so we called him Dre a lot of times. But there was a guy named Rodney from the project. He was down with him. It was called R2D2. So Rodney name at that time was Rod Swift. AG name was Dre Smooth. That was his rap name in the project. It was called R2D2. And then they had a DJ named Double D. Down the line, when they broke up, when AG got down with Lord Finesse, Rod Swift changed his name to Sit Lyrical Damager, which he still uses that name now. So he was AG's original partner. They was to R2D2. And my partner Danique, he stopped, but he's still doing his thing. He sings and stuff, saying shout out to my man Danique. But I just kept it going. Percee P was top priority. Now it's Percee P. And at the DJ at the time, we had a DJ E Kim, EKIM. So I just became Percee P and E Kim, like that on the songs. We had put out like a 12-inch on Big B. Now They Want to See Me, Long Collapse and Lyrics, Putting Heads to Bed. On Now They Want to See Me, I actually wrote E Kim's verse on that song. Yeah.
Have you ever done any ghostwriting for anybody else?
Say that again?
Have you ever done any ghostwriting for anyone else?
Oh, did you say did I what with anybody else? You said
ghostwriting.
Ghostwriting. Oh, ghostwrite. Nah, I never ghostwritten. No, that's the only verse I ever wrote for somebody. That's the only rhyme. And this is what I did. I actually wrote the rhyme, set it real slow to a beat, real slow so he could learn how to say it before we went in the studio and recorded the song. We were in the Power Play studio. But you know what I'm saying? So Power Play Studios in Queens and Long Island City, but that's where I first recorded my first record, Let the Homicides Begin. So he was the engineer for that song. But in 92, then I went back to Power Play and recorded them songs there. You know what I'm saying? And it was my man Aaron D that was the person that actually got me and my man Danique on that first recording. You know what I'm saying? He knew some people, R.I.P. to Aaron D, but he knew some people out in Queens that had a label that got them City Records, and that's how that record took place. We used to go with Aaron to Power Play Studio. That's how we met Ivan DJ Doc Rodriguez. So we met him going to Aaron's sessions, and when Aaron told the label about me and my partner, how we could rap, they said, well, if we could come up with a good song, I'll put it on the record. So we went in, Power Play, and we got Ivan DJ Doc to engineer the session, and that's how you got Let the Homicides Begin. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's
as far
history.
As the Big Beat record came about from me rhyming on Stretch and Bobbito show. So the first time, if you ever saw the Stretch and Bobbito movie, huh?
I said, talk about that.
You want to hear? Okay. Well, the first time, if you saw Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito's movie, the radio that changed lives. If you saw that movie, you saw me in the footage. When you saw Large Professor rapping, he was rhyming with me at the same time. We was rhyming together. But in the movie, they just broke up our part. They showed him doing some bars, and then they cut to my part. But we was really rapping together. Me, Large Professor, Joe Fatal, and somebody else. But that was the third show that they ever had on the air. That freestyle right there, me rhyming with Large Professor, that was the third show that they had on the air. They invited me to the second show. I just didn't show up. So the third show on air, that was the first time that I was down there. And that's the footage that you see in a movie. When you see me rhyming, that's the footage. And actually, he was rhyming, he was reading off a paper. When I got to the radio station, he was writing a rhyme. The rhyme that he said on the air became the verse that he made on Live at the Barbecue. That's the same rhyme he was writing in the studio. I'm gonna tell you the date, November 29th, 1990. When you look at the movie, all the freestyles is dated. November 29th, 1990. That's the day that I first was on Stretch and Bobbito show. Large Professor writing the rhyme that he spit off of paper is the rhyme that you hear Live at the Barbecue. And this is 1990. The rhyme that I said is the rhyme that got me the quotable on Lord Finesse album, Yes You May. That came out in 92.
Word!
So, yeah, go back and look at it. You'll see it. You'll see it. Yeah.
History.
Yeah, well, I put a lot of my history on my YouTube channel, but you can see it on my playlist. You see the playlist I put on my Instagram? See? So I've been places. It's just that sometimes people don't really acknowledge that, but that's my way to control the narrative, let you know, like, yeah, I might have been overlooked, but I've been there. I've been around with DMX before he was famous, like the Castle in the Bronx. When he was just upcoming, I was down with the same management, me and my partner, Danique. So they used to do parties every Thursday at the Castle, house party entertainment. So every Thursday night, they have artists that they will manage, house party all-stars. So that's top priority, me and my partner, Danique, and our DJ, E. Kim, who was the house DJ on Thursdays with Kid Capri. So they did every Thursday, Kid Capri and E. Kim DJing. The MCs that they had performing would be like top priority. That's me and Danique. DMX the Great at the time. DMX the Great that you know now. Top Quality, a rapper named Top Quality. You heard of him? He was down. You know what I'm saying? DJ Shabazz. He was down with Masters of Ceremonies. Him. You know what I'm saying? So these are people. But mama, this is back in like 1989, 1990. So even when I battled Lord Finesse, I already had a record out. It was on the radio, like 88, 89. So I was out already. I just didn't have an album, but I was, so we was going to the club. We was going to the Castle. Lord Finesse would be there. AG would be there, TMX. But he was just down. We was all down with the same people, the management. You know what I'm saying? So I was around for a lot of stuff at that time. But now to get back to Stretch and Bobbito, from that freestyle, that very first time I was down there, that led me to being signed to Big Beat because Stretch was the A&R at Big Beat at the time. Bobbito used to work for Def Jam promotion. So after I spit, both of them gave me cards. Like, yo, P, yo, man, you're nice. Yo, what's up? What you doing? They gave me cards. Stretch Armstrong hollered at me the next day. Like, yo, I'd like to have a meeting with you. I'm very impressed with what you was doing. So I called my DJ E. Kim because he didn't go down there with me. I just called him and said, yo, I was at this radio station last night and these cats want to have an interview with me. They want me to come down and have a meeting at Big Beat. He knew the label. You know what I'm saying? They had 2 songs on the radio, like I was playing regular on the radio. They're club songs though. So we went down there, and when we first went down there, we met a guy named T-Ray, producer. We heard him playing his beats before we got down there and have the meeting with Stretch. We just sitting in the little waiting room, but T-Ray was playing a bunch of beats, and Todd Ray, that's his name. So if you Google him, you'll see his Wikipedia page. But T-Ray made my Putting Heads to Bed, Long Collapsing Lyrics. He co-produced Nano and Seaman, but he can make Nano and Seaman, but T-Ray added little elements to it. T-Ray also produced the song Back to the Grill with MC Search. Actually, I'm gonna tell a little story about that. But I'm the one who introduced Lord Finesse to T-Ray. At the time before Lord Finesse was producing, he needed a remix, a single, like a follow-up single, which was Party Over Here, and Yes You May remix. So I told him to holler at T-Ray. He called him, but he took Big L with him. He like, yo, your man got beats, P. Yo, he was telling me, yo, your man, yo, he got beats. He told me, but he took L with him down there. So and so how that came out, you know what I'm saying? On the Yes You May remix. But that was the same person that produced my Long Collapsing Lyrics, Putting Heads to Bed, Back to the Grill. He also produced tracks for like the Artifacts, Double X Posse. I'm not going to be able to do it. Can you do it? He did that. He did like a lot of hits. He got Grammys and stuff. You look at him. He worked with Santana. So I'm proud of like some of the people I came in contact with, even at the early stages and through my journey through music. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
But it's still an ongoing journey. Yeah.
Talk about weren't you on a joint on an MC Search joint with Nas and Akinelli?
With MC Search? Okay,
Yeah.
This is what happened. I was at Stretch Armstrong show one day, right? And I used to rhyme down there because when I first came, they took me under their wing like, yo, you down? Because I was on the label. So I started being able to just come down there when I wanted to go. But I also brought people to them. People that Stretch Armstrong had records, he didn't know them. Remember, I came on their first time I was down there, it was their 3rd show on the air. So they had records of artists they haven't met yet, personally, or you know what I'm saying? So I knew Ultramagnetic already. I bought them to Stretch and Bobbito. I bought AG the first time AG was down there, I bought him down there. He was me and him and one of my cousins from Queens went down there, my cousin Taiwan, but at the time he was called Brother Exact. I took him and AG down there, like, you know what I'm saying? So I took a lot of my cousins from Queens, you know, down there, just my family that rap, I just kind of brought them down there at different times, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. But one of my cousins, Taiwan, Brother Exact, he knew Large Professor and Akinelli and people like that because he lived in Queens and left Rack City. So he knew them, but he also knew Akinelli. And Akinelli was like asking him, like, yeah, he was saying that's my cousin Percee that be on Stretch, and he didn't believe him. That's what he told me at first. He didn't really believe that he was my cousin. So one day off the air, Bobbito said, yo, P, while I was at the show off the air, he was like, yo, you got a phone call. And I got on the phone, it was Akinelli. And he was like, yo, it's Percee P. I said, yeah, what's up, man? Yo, you got a cousin out in Queens? I said, yeah, my cousin Taiwan. That's my cousin for real. Word, yo, I thought he was bullshitting, right? So he said, yo, I want to meet you. I said, all right, yo, come to Big Beat. Because remember, my songs wasn't out yet. My Putting Heads to Bed, Now Don't See Me, Long Collapsing Lyrics wasn't out yet. But I said, come down to the label, I'll let you hear it. It was still on that. You just played and, you know. But when he came, he brought Nas with him. So we was all down there like, oh, what up, man? Of course, we had the little ciphers. All right, check this. You know, we did that. But while we was down there, a phone call. Yo, Perce, you still down at the label? Yeah. It's T-Ray saying, yo, we need some people down there to come to Chung King Studio because we need some voices for the hook. So we all went to Chung King's studio. While we was down there, we did Search song, the hook for the song "Here It Comes" remix. You know that song? Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. That's all of us. Me, Nas, Akinelli, Riddler, T-Ray, Nas. You know what I'm saying? We all was down there. So after we did that, Search was like, "Yo, man, it's just crazy. Yo, why don't y'all drop a rhyme on this beat? Back to the grill beat."
You was on? You was on that?
I recorded. I recorded. Nas recorded. Akinelli recorded. You know what I'm saying? We all recorded verses. But when it came out, I wasn't on it. Akinelli wasn't on it. Maybe it could have been politics. But if you know me from rapping, do you think I spit something whack? Remember, the Long Collapse in Lyrics at that time, Long Collapse in Lyrics, Let the Homicides Begin. It wasn't, to me, I think it was more politics than quality of the lyrics. So I'm just saying. But that was his record.
Yeah, I'm saying, how did Percee P and Akinelli get left off of that track? That's ridiculous.
Well, a lot of people said the same thing. But I know, and Search said this. Now you can ask Search. He told me back then, because I was asked about that throughout the years, because Search talked about it on like Vlad. He mentioned it, and so I took that clip and put it on my playlist. If you see it, you can see him mention it. I just got it to that segment where he mentioned us in the studio. But you know what happened with that? Now say it's the question. Now, repeat the question again. I got a little sidetracked. I'm sorry.
How did Akinelli and Percee P get left off of a fucking track? That's
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's the same thing as how come as long as I've been in the game, and it's not no deep feelings of. But you know, I mean, come on, I've been around for a long time. There's people that say, "Damn, how did come? You know all these people. You've been around." Cats that's out there knows me. They know me from you was there. But somehow some artists, get propelled to certain status, and some just go through the ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably just one of them artists that when you look at it, like I predate YouTube. Me and Lord Finesse battle was the proof that I was already an MC. I wasn't just started rapping. You could listen and tell I was doing it for a while. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this dude just started. Like you could hear it that I kind of already had flows and just, you know what I'm saying? But somehow throughout the years, it's like boxing. Some cats are going to be the ones that make it to Madison Square Garden. Some cats are just going to be, damn, like I was there with Muhammad Ali. Somehow I'm still like going through the, you know what I'm saying?
This is like the fourth time that I've heard of Search doing greasy shit though. So I'm just going to put that out there. This is like, I hear it all the time. So I'm not asking you to get all into it. I'm just saying this is, I'm always hearing about Search doing greasy shit.
Well, the best thing I can say is he acknowledged me. At least he acknowledged, just to put it out there, that it was something that we did. We actually dropped verses. I mean, now he told me he still had it on a half-inch reel at the time. That's what he said. I got it on that. I don't know, somewhere a half-inch reel. But it would have did good just putting it on YouTube, just leaking it. It could have been some unreleased. That would have did good. You know, I would have had it on the playlist just for hip hop's sake, for the culture. You know what I'm saying? I would have had it up there. Like, trust me.
Did you, Nas, and Akinelli have a studio session?
No. Now, we never had a studio session. We all went to Chung King together from Big Beat Records. We all went there to the studio together. One by one, all of us dropped our rhymes. But when the song came out, I wasn't on it. Akinelli wasn't on it. So just Nas. But he's a good MC. He's dope. So he deserved to be on the song. But I'm just saying, we wasn't on it. We all recorded. But when it came out, we just wasn't on the song. So, I mean, like I said, that's politics. I think Search was working with him, managing him some at the time. Maybe he even met him and they just formed a bond. So from that, who knows? But he still did his thing. He's still a dope artist. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, but Nas was Search's pet at the time, to be honest with you. Um, yo, how did your style become so lyrical? Like what? Because to me,
Um,
to, to me, um, your style kind of was ahead of the curve a bit.
yeah. Well, I looked up to people like Treacherous 3, Fearless 4, Cold Crush, the Fearless Furious 5. So at the time, so it was still like those still competitive artists that you tried to, at least if you ever rap for cats like that, you kind of wanted to impress those kind of people that's rapping. So I always been like that. And Treacherous 3 was one of them kind of groups that they was kind of ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Fearless 4, a song like Fearless Freestyle. You know that song? What a Fearless 4? Like I like that at that time. DLB, my rhyming momentum proceeds to elevate, putting me on a platform a step beyond. See, I was on like that. I like the rhyme. You listen to me right on Love Finesse, you can see the vocabulary. I had it then, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of dropped down with it rapping because I analyze what's popular with the masses, and I see that when artists get deep, a lot of times it don't work. So I try to learn from other people, like, I could do this, but they not accepting this person doing it. So it's like, I better maybe not be too technical. Maybe I just stick to my flow and cadences, but not be too, with people pulling out books and to read and decipher shit. So I try to spit rhymes that you really can analyze and still comprehend as I'm spitting it. But maybe to recite it back be a challenge to you, but you can still hear me clearly as I rap. You can hear what it's said, but just to repeat it would be a challenge. You know what I'm saying? So I said, try to rap like that. Don't be too technical with the big words, But like people like that, Tila Rock is another one. He was down with my uncle. So, when he came out, he was one of them cats, oh man, he's dropping the words. So, so that was people like that inspired me. But at the time, you still had to have your own, the way you did things. It was about then, wasn't about biting. So you had to kind of have your own way of doing things, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it was back in the early days. It wasn't such thing as biting. Nowadays, it seems like people rather sound like another cat just to get on. You know what I'm saying? And they're not willing to hit the streets. Like even though I was making records, I still chose to go to a store like Fat Beats and hit open mics, and I was just doing shit to keep my name out there and not wait for like opportunities to drop out the sky for me. And that's what I did. I didn't want to always be places like that, but I did it because I saw how some cats could have been rapping, but they was waiting for those deals that never happened, and they want to fading away to obscurity. And I didn't want that to happen because I always felt like I still had it, but people ain't getting a chance to hear it. So I said, I'm just be selling stuff. I'm gonna hit Fat Beats because when I was at Stretch and Bobbito show, they always say, yeah, you can hear all this records, you could get them at Fat Beats. So if I'm down there and they regularly saying this, I'm post up down here then. And I hit all open mics, like be everywhere. I always tell people I wasn't everywhere. I was just at the place to be. And that's what Percee was at. He did his research, come to Fat Beats, get all the flyers, know all the shows. SOB's, Wetland, Knitting Factory, New Eurekan's Pulse Cafe. I just hit all the spots. I knew where to go. I'm going to stand out here in the daytime. At this time, the club's going to open this time. I'll leave around this time and get over there and just hit the grind and hit the line. You know what I'm saying? But I did it years, though. It took years. I was selling tapes before CDs, but I was doing this because I had tapes from the 80s. Cold Crush, Flash, Theodore, L Brothers, Fantastic Five, Treacherous 3, Jazzy 5, Soul Sonic Force, Cosmic Force, Force from Seas, Soul Sonic. I just had stuff. Funky 4, Master Dawn, Death Committee. I had a collection. I'm talking about Jam, C Connection tapes, Harlem World. I had shit like that. Spoon G, you know what I'm saying? All of it. The Mercedes ladies, I had all that shit. That's what I grew up on listening, and I cared to keep my shit. Like, I ain't race over my shit. I had my shit. Like, I don't care when the 90s and 80s, when the 80s went out in the 90s, people could see me with a radio playing that shit. How you get that? Yo, that's from T Connection, Busy Bee Mo Deep shit. Yo, I like to go to places like 88 Hip Hop. I don't know if you heard of 88 Hip Hop, but I used to go down there with all my tapes. EVD was buying all my shit, the whole collection. Yo, P, I need these. I'm going to get, next week, I'm going to get like 3 more from you, like that. I would just show up at hip hop events selling tapes, though. all the old school pioneer shit, the tapes I had, my collection. I just made copies, but on the tape I used to have my name, Percee P, with my pager number at the time, the pager. So I put that on there, and then some dudes would be like, "Yo, you the same Percee P that made the song Lord Finesse, this, that." Yeah. Oh man, yo, what happened to y'all? Heard this one song you did? So that's what made me start putting it on tape, my own stuff that I did, and compiling it, and just everywhere I go, I was so old school, but I had those tapes of Percee P to make sure I'm prolonging my legacy and just keep it going. But that's how I met Madlib and them in New York. I was at a club called Noun Bar, selling my old school tapes again, the Cold Crush, all that shit. Like they came, "Oh man, Furious Fly, yo, this is the pioneers, yo, how much?" And I was like, "Yeah, like $10. All right, yo, we gonna get this. We from the West Coast. We got a show over here. They gave me a flyer. There's a spot called New Eureka's Post Cafe." I was like, "Oh, word? Yeah, I know this is that. I'm gonna come through. Yeah, I'm an artist too. I don't know if you ever heard me, Percee P. Well, are you Percee P from Uncle Lassie Lisbon?" I said, "Yeah." So that footage, Wild Child, like, hold up, yo, let me get my camera. So I don't know if you ever saw my Instagram. Did you see that footage of me rapping and Madlib and Wild Child on them standing behind me?
Yeah.
That's the very first moment they met me, 1999. See how long I've known them and when my album came out, right? See, that's me keeping my name out there by any means. Jurassic 5 met me at Urban Plaza, just showing up, selling my tapes, met Cut Chemist. "You Percee P?" "Yep." "Yo, what you doing now?" Like, "Yo, it's crazy." Bring the whole crew over. "Who this?" "This Percee P." "Percee P? Yo, what's up? You want to come out on stage?" So it's things like that I was appreciative to be places. Me pushing my product led me to meet artists, these cats that I wound up doing songs with. Same thing with Jedi Montrix. I met Benny Paz selling my tapes at a Rocksteady anniversary in the crowd, just like I did, just everywhere. "Yo, what's up, man? You want to tape? Look at it. Hold on, you Percee P?" "Yeah." "Oh shit, yo, let me get one of these. Yo, I'm from Philly, man. You're a legend, So I'm like, word. So I started really learning more about myself too from the fans, because when I'm standing from the Fat Beats, I'm knowing more about where I'm really at, from the fans, people that's buying the shit. "Oh man, I'm from Jersey. I came from Connecticut. I came down here. I heard about you, man." So it's like, oh shit, this is doing something. Me selling tapes. I remember one time people from Manhattan Records from Japan came and bought like 30 joints off of me off the spot. Just going to Fat Beats about shit and came up to me like, "Percee P?" Japanese dudes. Like, "Yeah, I'm Percee." "Yeah, how much?" I was like, $10. They're like, "Give me 30. So that told me like, yo, I have value. You know what I'm saying? When you go to Sandbox Automatic, Percee, bring these tapes, bring your CDs. When I had tapes first, then I started making CDs. Give me these, and they put them on their site. And when they sell more, we need more. That's saying to me, yo, to be at the right place, and you might can move your joint. Go to the Fat Beats. Don't go in front of Tower Records. Stand by an independent store where people buy independent music. They're more likely to support you because I'm not a major artist. I'm more independent. So I stood by Fat Beats where it's more likely, not guaranteed, but more likely you to know a Percee P because of the artists I work with as well, So that's me. And I just try to be more logical and strategic about how I moved and where I was going to be to sell my products. I wouldn't go in front of Madison Square Garden, but I'll be at a Rock the Bells depending on who's performing. That's my audience. Like if J5 is there, the Eastside Rocks, like those Jedi Mind, I need to be at something like that because those are people who probably would know a Percee P. But if I went like at certain of these artists, mainstream cast, their fans is probably not noticing me, even if I've been around way longer than the artists they come to see. So sometimes it's just like, well, certain things you gotta miss. You know what I'm saying? That's not my audience, and I kind of look at things from that perspective. So
How have you adapted that to now? Because to the internet days, because I noticed that when I did the promo for this interview,
yeah.
When I did the promo for the interview, you reposted everything really quickly.
Oh yeah, man. Because that's what I do. I'm a self-promoter, right? I did that for years. I'm used to like grind. Who gonna push you harder than you? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I believe. If nobody's gonna stand behind me, only person that's behind me is probably my shadow. It's like, you know what I'm saying? With the light, that's it. So That's how I was, man. I didn't expect nobody gonna care about you more than you. So
Facts.
if I had to go to Fat Beats, that's what I did. I was by myself. A lot of times I went down there, went to clubs by myself. It could be a show real late, but I looked at things like, yo, damn, I'm on that Fat Beats today, but tonight at SOB's, which is walking distance from Fat Beats, they having a big show down there, but damn, I should go to that. I'm probably tired, staying outside all day. If I show up to Fat Beats like 7 or 12 o'clock p.m. and leave when the store closed, that's a lot of hours standing out there. And then there's a show tonight, but you know if I don't go to that, that's where everybody going. I'm trying to be still seen and recognized and don't know if I go to that show where my next opportunity might come from. That's how I thought. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to push my stuff. I'm going to hit the line up real quick, catch down the line, the fans, you know, and then slide in there. And a lot of times they looked out, oh, Percee P, yo, you good, come in. So now I'm in there. And maybe the artist, oh, we got Percee in the place. Yo, what's up? Yo, you want to get on? You want to drop? All right. Same thing. The J5, a lot of it. So I look at it like, yo, maybe that's how my career was meant to be. Certain places I might not have took the route that other artists, but somehow I still got to where I was trying to go. Anyway, I just took a different path. My path seemed hard. I was rhyming on the street, battling dudes, going to places, hand-to-hand sales. But when you look at it, a lot of major artists didn't do that. They don't have that to look back on. Cast say, there's people from Germany, Italy, Spain, Australia, Japan, people from different places could say, yo, I got one of these tapes and I got it from him by walking through the crowd at his own tours or whatever. So I feel good about that people can be like that. If somebody say, I got one of these CDs from you, and where you got it from? Oh, when you came to Amsterdam and you was rocking over here when you was in Norway. I remember when you came. That feels good because that said, yo, that's a lot of stuff that got hand-to-hand distributed to a lot of people. But when you look at it that way, it's like you did more than push the music. You gave a direct moment with each person. They had a moment with you. You know what I'm saying? And one dude that I made a song with on the playlist, it's a song that I did with Rex and AG. This is a good example. You saw that song, it's on the playlist. It's probably like it's the third song on that playlist on my YouTube channel. The link that's right on my profile, Instagram profile. You click on it, it's a playlist. The third song is a song with me, AG, and Rex on it. But the guy name is KV Beats, and he's from Denmark, right? But he met me in like 2001, standing in front of Fat Beats, going to Cop Records, and he met me outside selling my tapes and stuff. So he bought one off of me, but he said, yo, can I get you freestyling? So I spit some bars for him. He threw it on YouTube. So it's been on YouTube when YouTube start coming to play. It's on YouTube now. But that same dude, years later, like 2000 and I think maybe like 2020 now, like about 2 years ago, that dude was like hitting me up talking about, yo, I'm doing an album and I got these people on the song, I got AG and Rex on it, and he had another album out and he wound up hitting me up with feature, and so that's the same dude I met Fat Beats like in 2001. So you never know who you meet that come back doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Here's another. So you heard what I just told you, that story? Look on the song. I'm trying to think the name of the song. But it's me, AG, and Rex from Boston, right? Boom. Now here's another story. Good. Here's another story right here. Me standing in front of Fat Beats. I used to go to places like ASCAP building, Windy Day Rap Coalition. I don't know if you know her. But the ASCAP building used to have these panel discussions for cats to just come through and rhyme or whatever and just learn, get some game for free from industry cats. Artists sometimes be on panels, so you go on down there. But she used to throw these open mics for like artists to come through, like people like me, Thurston Howe, C-Ray's Walls, like mad people, just people that rap. She knew, y'all could come over here, come to my house. But boom, at a Rocksteady anniversary, I went there. That's how I met Mole Men for the first time from Chi-Town. They met me at a Rocksteady anniversary. That's how I met them. And selling my stuff, and then, yo, man, I'd love to bring you out to Chi and get shows, whatever, and he did it. But this is what happened. I was there. I met some dude named Plain Pat. Plain Pat, he bought a CD tape off of me. And he was just like, yo, I work in a studio called Great Bar. It's downtown. Anytime you ever need a studio, you can come through and like that, right? All right. I went down there, right? And I met this dude named Mike, his man, right? So Mike. So both of them worked in the studio engineer. Mike's name is Dub L. His name is Dub L. So because I started going down there, I knew a lot of cats. So I introduced Plain Pat to C. Ray's Walls. C. Ray's Walls' first album was produced by Plain Pat in that same studio. But Mike asked me, yo, man, I got this group I'm down with. It's just me. I'm producing this track for this girl. Her name is Ann Colville, but she got a single that she's putting out. I'm doing a remix to it. On the flip side, I got this cat on it that I'm working with. His name is Aesop Rock. So I want to know if you want to jump on this track. I did it. It's a song called Coward of the Year, which is on that playlist, Coward of the Year remix. But Aesop wound up throwing it on his first album, Music for Earthworms, so when that came out. But that's on the vinyl. It's called The Control, featuring Percee P and Aesop Rock. But now Dub L, the guy who produced that track for the girl and for the controls, I bought DJs in the studio with me when I used to go record down there, right? I bought JS1, who I met from Tila Rock. Just hanging with Tila Rock, that's how I met JS1. DJ. Now, me bringing JS1 to that studio when I needed little cuts on shit, that's how Dub L met JS1, and they wound up making them album like Ground Original. Have you ever heard of JS1 Ground Original albums?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they met. From that, me bringing JS1 down there, then JS1 wound up getting hooked up with Rozelle from the Roots, and he started taking them around the world tour, and boom. So that's how JS1 came back to me, like, yo, P, I need you on a song with Planet Agent. I got this track, I'm gonna put you on that. All right? You heard that song?
I haven't heard that joint with PA.
It's on my playlist, family. Check that out. Yo, there's some joints on that, fam. I got some. I want you to, when you get a chance, cause I'll be seeing you riding around, play that, type this on YouTube, Percee P songs and features. But the link is right on my Instagram profile. That link right there, just type that in. Or click that link. Or when you're riding around, I suggest you ride around listening to that. Percee P songs and features. And next time I hear from you, let me know if I hooked you up with some let me know. All right.
I got one more question before we bounce.
All right.
So I saw an interview, and you're like really big on preserving the culture, appreciating the culture.
Oh yeah.
Because you're part of it from the beginning. What can we do, in your eyes, to do that? Like, what's some of the ways we can do?
Well, like I want you to look at. You see how I post my stuff on my page? You see how every time I post up, a lot of times it's like me preserving my own stuff, even if it's flyers, record songs, pictures. I'm doing this for any Percee P enthusiast, for them to be able to know what they're talking about. If you're going to speak about me, I'd rather you know factual. Who know your story better than you? So let me put out the facts for them, so they don't have to be like third-hand information. Like, yeah, I heard he did this. So I do that for myself, but every artist should do that, because when you do that, it's making it easier for like a journalist like yourself to come through, and they could know the things, that factual stuff, like, yo, this cat did that. Okay, this record, I got the images of songs that I put on my playlist. It's not no link. It's you can see the visual covers for everything, where you could Google it and be like, oh, it's on this label. All right. So I do that, but also here's clips of me. Here's flyers from shows. Here's tour flyers. That's what artists should do. But it's also up to the fans, the ones that really love this, to share the music. I just told everybody, whoever listening and watching this, go to YouTube or look at the link right on my profile on Instagram. It's right there. Click that link. It's my profile. It's my playlist. It's called Percee P Songs and Features. Click on that, or you go to my YouTube channel. You be on the channel if you just look at the video that says Percee P. That's my channel. Boom. I got live playlists of me performing live in concerts. I made a playlist called Percee P Live in Shows, live on stage. Then the Percee P Songs and Features, and then the Percee P Songs and Features Part 2. And then I got my love gems, not jams, love gems, soul jams, because I like the R&B, and so I'm from the old days, man. So I listen to all that, but I just hook it up myself. If you're a producer, you probably listen to that and catch a whole bunch of loops. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? But that's how you preserve the music. Because one day I'm not going to be here, but I'm thank you for reaching out to me, giving me flowers now. Cats don't appreciate it until you ain't around. So, I mean, I'm just saying this now, you know. I appreciate that, bro.
Listen, you are. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You're a
Yes,
fucking
sir.
legend. You're a legend, and people need to understand that. People need to know. People need to know that. It's important. So, and what you shared tonight, as far as like the history and stuff of a lot of this stuff, and the jewels you shared about your hustle, that's important for everybody right now, man, because we're all hustling right now, and that grind and shit. I can see it in your Instagram. I can see it, like it's still there, and that's why everybody still knows Percee P. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
thank you very much, man. Appreciate you, and thank you for Hank. Thank you for dealing with the Instagram and
Oh, man.
bullshit.
Thank you, brother. No, I appreciate it, man, because like I said, I could use the exposure too, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing too much for me, family. You came to me in support. I want to make sure this information get out there and people get a chance to see me. You know, I don't really, and you see, I don't really be doing a live too much. I try to make it more of an event too than just overexpose myself. But I know I should be going hard with it. But sometimes I think it's such things could be overexposing yourself. People start taking it for granted. So I'd rather be like one to fall back, and maybe when it comes, like, oh man, he's gonna be.
Let me share a piece of marketing advice with you.
Yes.
In 2021, there is no such thing as overexposure because too many people are doing the same shit. So
Yeah.
it's not like back in the day when you could like post something or do something too much. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
Go fucking hard.
Yeah.
Go hard because algorithms are different. It's all different now. So like people might not see your shit the first time, they'll see it later. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's what I try to do with that playlist. I keep posting stuff and saying click the link attached to my Instagram profile for much more. But, you know, 4 songs and much more. Just click that link. So I do that because I realize people might not see this post, but they might do it on the next one. But even if they don't look at my post, they just see that link on the profile and be like, let me click that, and then they'll see what they're going to see. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to look so they can know what it is, what I'm doing, what I achieve, and I'm hopefully inspiring cats, man. Cause look, you see, like I'm one that had to hit the streets. So for those dudes that had nobody to go to and they just had to sell tapes, whatever, to get out there, I did it my own self. And if it wasn't for me doing it, I wouldn't have met like Stone Store, and a lot of these cats met me selling my stuff. So that's what kept me staying out there. Because they ain't come to me. I had to be places to meet these dudes, not realizing they already knew who I was. I just wasn't a notable face, because I wasn't out there on like the old TV raps and none of that. I wasn't that cat, but I've been around, but I just wasn't that dude right on the TV screen. But I was somebody that you had to know from grassroots shows, radio shows, hip hop. You know, and I'm just grateful that I've been around live. I can actually say I've been on a radio show like DNA Hank Love Show, the first show I ever was exposed on radio. Regular rotation, me and my man Danique, 105.9 WNWK. Then from that, Red Alert, 98.7 KISS FM. I got exposure on these shows. Then Stretch and Bobbito came along, and I was part of that regularly. And DJ Clip Show back on college radio days. So I watch people, but I could say that right there is a proud thing for me to say I actually was around before digital era, before YouTube. I could at least say, like with that battle with me and Lord Finesse, that's pre-YouTube, that's pre-internet era. To have something from that far back to still be acknowledged now, you know what I'm saying?
And still,
and I just try to make a legacy, at least something that people could go back to and be like, yo, this cat really been out here. Like he just somebody just saying it. I could show you. There's clips. I put stuff on my page so you really could see the receipts. You know what I'm saying?
Still going strong, and I can speak for everybody here that we appreciate you. We appreciate you to the fullest. I was saying we
Yeah.
appreciate you. So did you hear
Thank you.
that?
Thank you, bro.
So we're gonna get out of here. Thank you very much. I'll tag you in the posts and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Salute, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. I apologize about I don't know what's going on with the audio, but I appreciate the opportunity reaching out. And much love, man. And yo, keep doing what you do, bro. You definitely need it in this culture.
I
And you doing
appreciate
the
you.
right thing. And I'm honored to be on your show. You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Thank you.
Salute, man. It's love is love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's love is love. I appreciate you.